Giftedness. So what is giftedness? According to the definition of Columbus Group 1991, giftedness is a synchronous development in which advanced cognitive abilities and heightened intensity combine to create inner experiences and awareness that are qualitatively different from the norm. This asynchrony increases with higher intellectual capacity. The uniqueness of the gifted renders them particularly vulnerable and requires modifications in parenting, teaching, and counseling in order for them to develop optimally. This means that their minds grow ahead of their physical growth, and this explains why they are in advanced progress than children of their own age. To put it simply, giftedness is equals to more. Like more curious, more intense, more hungry, more alert, more sensitive, more active, more. Like for example, if you've watched the movie Matilda, 1996, directed by Danny DeVito, you can observe that Matilda is a gifted child. For the history, Howard Gardner introduced the concept of giftedness, and as we all know, Howard Gardner is famous on his theory about multiple intelligences. So here are some history of giftedness. During the 20th century, the public equated giftedness with high intelligence. For the first national report on gifted education, they specified 6 categories of giftedness. Number 1 is the general intellectual ability, and number 2, specific academic aptitude. Number 3, creative or productive thinking. Number 4 is the leadership ability. Number 5, visual and performing arts. And lastly, the psychomotor activity. And for the second report of giftedness, National Excellence, a case for developing America's talent, defined gifted as talent, and children and youth with outstanding talent perform on or show the potential for performing at remarkably high levels of accomplishment when compared to others of their age, experience of environment. As I said a while ago, that they outperform other students because they have some advanced abilities. And for the Philippines, here is the most recent young awardee with giftedness. In 2018, where it was chosen by the National Commission for Culture and Arts as an Ani ng Dangal awardee for visual arts. So at a very young age, he was able to showcase his talent in arts, especially in arts. For the characteristics, they are more advanced than the rest of their classmates, like in terms of vocabulary, language, and reading skills. Next is they are able to learn more quickly than their peers, easily and independently. Next is they have high standards like regarding performance. They are also positive self-concept, especially academic endeavors. And lastly, they are above average social development and emotional adjustment, so they're advanced. Let us now move on to screening and diagnosis. First is we have the gifted test. And under gifted test, we have achievement test and abilities test. And second is the gifted assessment. Gifted testing is often done to determine if a child is intellectually gifted. For the achievement test, it is designed to look for a child's knowledge in a subject area. So this can be used as gifted testing to screen students for particular areas of academic strength. And for the abilities test, it is used to evaluate a child's cognitive abilities or intelligence quotient, or what we know as IQ. So this provides the in-depth learning of the profile of a child. So gifted assessment, on the other hand, is much more comprehensive, and it is a formal way because you will work with a trained professional who will use their expertise to determine what information needs to be gathered and the most appropriate tools for collecting that data. Now for the prevalence, current estimates on prevalence. 3 to 5% educators believe. If you are educators, what do you believe? 6%, the National Association for Gifted Children 2010 believes that approximately 3 million children are gifted and talented. Lastly, for the 10 to 15%, Renzulli and Rees 2003 estimate that current testing does not reveal gifts and talents across several areas. If these estimates are true, up to 7.5 million or more children may be considered gifted. So what are the causes of giftedness? First is we have the genetic. An explanation for genetic is found in biology called mutation. Like for example, smart people marries a smart people and they will be having a smart children. This is believed generally to be true, but occasionally, however, there are some cases that two very smart people will have a very dull child, and likewise, two people of very average or low intelligence may have a brilliant child. So the other term that we can use also to this is nature. Next, for the environmental causes. So for environmental, it is believed that you can make a child gifted by exposing him or her to a variety of enriching experiences beginning at an early age, and this is what we call nurture, that you're nurturing your child to become a gifted. Problems, challenges, and struggles. People with special learning needs, self-esteem issues, guilt, perfectionism. Self-esteem issues because the child feels different from her peers and may even lead to the child being bullied and become depressed. So to help your child build self-confidence, you can connect with her peers through play, like soccer, skateboarding, and dance. For the guilt, because some gifted children feel pressure to think like give back because they have the feeling that um, they're so fortunate to have their own intellectual gifts. That's why they engage in helping people and they feel pressured. That could lead to overextend himself. So here's the tip to help your child. Like encourage your child to focus his giving by choosing one volunteer opportunity, whatever he is most passionate about. So for the perfectionism, in other words, you should help your child to know when to quit and enjoy the process of learning from a project rather than stressing about getting everything perfect. Next, family. Understanding and meeting their unique needs. Some research shows that you cannot make your child gifted. So what would you do as a parent? You can also support what is already there, like nurturing what nature provides. Because the most important is you will be able to recognize, understand, and meet your child's unique needs. And as a parent, you should always be supporting your child passion. As for the teachers, challenge to the patience, resourcefulness, and creativity. This becomes the challenge because the approach at present is to mainstream children with special needs in the regular classroom. Because it is expected that there are students with special needs even in the regular classrooms, like they will be excused for some activities or rather being pulled out in the regular classroom for some special trainings. So teachers needs to acquire and adapt for some like technical knowledge on how to deal with children with special needs, and this requires more trainings. So that would be all about giftedness. Thank you very much.